Hello and welcome to Ask MandR episode 277, the series where I answer your questions. If you have a question or an answer next week's episode, leave it down in the comments section below, leave a like while you're there, and let's get into it with our first question from Fritz, who says, do you think LEGO is going overboard with the 18 plus sets? Personally, I love them, but the next wave is like 70% 18 plus, and this might price out a lot of fans. So I somewhat disagree with the idea that sets solely being 18 plus prices people out. If they're going to make a $100 set, it's going to be a $100 set, whether it's 18 plus or 10 plus or 16 plus, whatever it is. However, maybe a more appropriate way to look at it is LEGO is making more expensive sets more often. They have been doing that for the past few years. They'll continue to do that. And while it's absolutely true that more expensive things means less people can afford them, LEGO is still making plenty of cheaper sets. So I don't necessarily think they've done that. It's not like they've completely gotten rid of the $10 and $20 and $30 price brackets. They're just making a lot more of the $70, $80, $150, $200, $500 sets. And pertaining to Star Wars next year with the 18 plus stuff, I think a couple of those that we think are going to be 18 plus, like R2-D2 and the Droideka, you know, I did some mock-up box arts with black box art, but they're very likely going to be more like 9 plus sets. But at the end of the day, that's irrelevant. They're just going to be cool display sets, whether they're marked as 9 plus or 18 plus. The only place that I somewhat agree that they're going overboard is that I did look at this 2024 first half of year wave, if you want to call it that, even though they're going to be split into 3 different release dates. And I did think, like, not that how it used to be should be how it always is, the times have definitely changed, but I remember back in like 2011, you'd get like the main playset ships from whatever was popular at the time, like the T6 shuttle and the Bounty Hunter Assault Gunship. Sets like these, like playsets, are just a lot less common for LEGO Star Wars waves now, it feels like. I mean, yeah, the summer wave and the Ahsoka wave have sets like this, but the January wave used to be like really playset based, and it's just not anymore, and that's just how it is. If we're comparing it to how things used to be, yes, they are going overboard, but the market shifted. LEGO is not just a kid's toy anymore. It hasn't been for quite some time, and so 18 plus sets are gonna continue to roll in. Get it, Droideka, roll in. Next question from JCP says, since the 2023 Temple of Doom got so far into production, do you think that there are any out there? If not, you should try to recreate it like you did with the Yavin set. So I don't believe any 2023 Temple of Dooms were ever produced. After talking to a few people, it just doesn't seem like it happened, like it didn't even make it to the factory production, which is unfortunate because what has happened in the past, like with the Osprey and the Winter Santa Claus set and quite a few other sets, is that sets like this will make it into production even though they get canceled, and then some of them will leak out of the factory some way, somehow, or they'll get shipped to retailers by accident and be sold that way. But it doesn't seem like that has happened with the Temple of Doom. It's been 4 or 5 months at this point. There has been absolutely nothing on that front, not even like leaked figures from the factory. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that this set doesn't exist. I mean, the model exists, but you couldn't physically find one anywhere. Now, someone has already done a reconstruction of it over on Instagram, and I'm probably going to at some point use that and reconstruct it for myself just so that I can have the complete Indiana Jones return wave. Count says, do you think that after Pick-a-Brick walls transition to cardboard boxes, we'll still be able to come and use our old Pick-a-Brick cups? After all, they are trying to help the environment, and that is the same sentiment that I share. If LEGO is truly in it for the environment, they will absolutely let you reuse your old cups. I totally expect them to. I couldn't fathom them not doing that, although it would be hilarious and some great internet content for all of us. So I hope it happens for that reason, but like there's just no way they're not going to let you use your old cups. Hopefully they don't take away the discount though. I'm a little worried they're going to like raise prices, take away that usually when you reuse your old cup you get 50 cents off, and if it's a small one it's 25 cents off. There's a chance they nix that as we move into the new era of Pick-a-Brick. Like, fingers crossed they don't change things for the worst, kind of like shrouding it in this like for the environment cardboard boxes smoke screen. Hopefully everything stays the same except now it's in boxes, but we'll have to wait and see. It should be within a month or 2, I think, that stores are supposed to switch over to the cardboard boxes. I'm very excited. Moving on to Taylor, he says, what do you think about the exclusive Riyu Dragon piece? Would you say this counts as a Comic-Con exclusive, and do you have any plans of acquiring this item? A couple sold on eBay for upwards of $2,000. So Riyu Dragon apparently is a thing from Ninjago. This is like a special version of that dragon. I believe it's not a unique mold, but it is like a unique color or print for what we're seeing here. Like, I don't know Ninjago at all, so bear with me. But $2,000 for this little guy. That is absolutely absurd. It doesn't even have the good old Comic-Con packaging of old like we used to get with real Comic-Con minifigure exclusives. And for that reason, I don't think it is that. I think it's just an early release, special access for people at Comic-Con of something that is otherwise going to come in like January of 2024 for LEGO Ninjago. I think it's insane for anyone to spend $2,000 at this point. I know my guy Duck Bricks bought one. I wish I had had the opportunity to tell him not to, because I really think that you should wait until the first wave of next year comes out before you realize or decide that, you know, this isn't coming out or it's not intended to be coming out separately. You know, I think that this dragon piece that is exclusive to Comic-Con will be released, and it won't be worth more than $2 in like a year, maybe less. It's like insane that someone would spend $2,000 and it doesn't even have a unique piece of packaging. I mean, I get it. If it was Star Wars, I'd highly be considering the same. But I would also be very highly considering the very realistic idea that this is just an early access thing and it will be in like a $40, $50, $70 set. Doesn't matter how much money the set is. It's not going to be $2,000 in 6 months. So, yeah. That's insane. Nathan says, do you think with the upcoming release of the UCS Venator, the OG Phase 2 Captain Rex will go down in price or stay the same? I am on the fence about it due to the new one having the weird helmet holes. My analysis on it is that I think the old one will continue to go up in value, whether that is slowly or quickly doesn't really matter to me. I see it as something that the new one does not really overtake the old one. People rightfully point out that the old one isn't accurate either, but not only is the new one inaccurate, it also looks goofy. The old one doesn't look goofy, you know? That's where the new stuff, like, really fails. People point out, oh, the old one's inaccurate too. But this one's inaccurate and looks goofy, and it's just, like, dumb inaccurate at this point. I mean, it's been 10 years. We're supposed to be improving, not taking steps back, and we're taking steps back here as far as, like, certain aspects of the figure just being now wrong when they were right before. Like the ammo pouch on the chest. I mean, it just absolutely makes no sense. There's zero defense for it. It's not like it's an artistic style to have the ammo pouch be twice as big as it should be. It's just wrong, and the guy who did it is bad at his job, dare I say. So with that in mind, I think the overall goofiness of the new Rex will continue to allow there to be an interest in the old one. If LEGO had taken the best aspects of the old one, the best aspects of their new style of Clone Trooper, and then done a helmet with a hole in one side for the antenna that looked great, yeah, the old one might actually be dipping in value now, or at least like really leveling off, like it's not going anywhere. But yeah, I just don't see it as a possibility that the old one's going to go down in value because of how bad the new one is. And whether or not you personally think it's bad, it doesn't matter. Like, there's a very large portion of the LEGO Star Wars fandom that does think this new Rex just looks really, really goofy or bad or awful, whatever word you want to put on it. And because of that, they kind of just keep eyeballing the old one. You'd also be shocked how many people came up to me at Brick Fair and said that they appreciated my fight for the helmet holes. I now have a renewed vigor for getting LEGO to stop doing the dumb stuff that they are doing. Anyway, Threen says, do you think LEGO has a secret eBay store or whatever where they can just sell marked up retired product that never made it off the shelves or out of the warehouse? Yeah, I see that you think about stupid things on the toilet like me. I've actually thought of this before. It's actually kind of crazy that you brought this up. I don't think they do that. I have no reason to believe that to be the case. They certainly could because they own Bricklink, but I don't think they do. Like, if you just look around with what they do with like their leftover promos when they rerun a promotion, they're taking stuff that didn't sell the first time or get given away the first time, and they're giving it away again instead of going and selling it on eBay or Bricklink or whatnot. And so I don't think it happens just because of the behavior that I see with how they handle that. It's a really fun conspiracy to think about though, but if it ever came out that they did that, I mean, the entire LEGO market would be in turmoil. It would be kind of crazy that the company would even bother. Deck Does Stuff says, I'm trying to stick to a somewhat minimalist LEGO Star Wars collection. That sounds actually really cool. He says, would you recommend the Mandalorian Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptor or the new Spider Tank and TIE Bomber? So I'm gonna go off the rails based on what you asked, and I'm gonna say buy the Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptor. I just saw that it's at some Costco's for $80 right now, so you can get it for a discounted price if you happen to have a Costco membership and a Costco nearby. But buy that set, sell the Fang Fighter, keep the TIE Interceptor, and then buy the TIE Bomber on discount as well for like $48. It should be on sale, maybe 53, whatever it is. But then I think this would look better for your minimalist collection. You'll have the TIE Interceptor and the TIE Bomber I think those just look really nice next to each other versus the other way around where you just have some different sets that don't really match with each other as well as the TIE Bomber and TIE Interceptor. So hopefully that helps. Andrew Johnson says, do you think we will see another 3-in-1 Star Wars set during the holiday season? And if so, what do you think it would be? Unfortunately, we already know what it's going to be, and the good times have come to an end, my friends. The LEGO Star Wars 3-in-1 sets, much like Clone Troopers, have fallen off. The new 3-in-1 set for 2023 is the mechs. It's Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and the Stormtrooper mech all in one pack. And I mean, I guess if you were waiting to buy the mechs, you might end up getting a pretty good deal with this 3-in-1 pack. I would imagine the price on it, instead of $48, would be somewhere closer to $30, $35 maybe for the 3 mechs. A better deal certainly, and more in line with what they should have cost to begin with. But yeah, not the most exciting 3-in-1 pack to say the least. Norton says, with next year being the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace and a pod race diorama rumored, could next year be the year we possibly see the return of a Playscale N1 Naboo Starfighter, Dual Naboo, Droid MTT, Flash Speeder, Gungan Sub, or Sith Infiltrator, or any other idea based on Episode 1? I mean, certainly there's the possibility. We have the pod race diorama and the Droideka, I think, headlining the Phantom Menace anniversary for the first half of the year, and in the summer wave we could totally see another set or two. If I had to pick out of your list, I would guess that we would see the MTT and a Sith Infiltrator. Sith Infiltrators, just for whatever reason, have been something LEGO Star Wars has done a ton of, dating back to 1999, 2007, 2011, and then most recently, I believe, in 2015. So by that logic, we're a little overdue. So yeah, I think the Sith Infiltrator will probably show up in the summer wave, and certainly, it kind of hit me when I read your comment. The MTT's coming out next summer, right? I mean, every summer they've been putting out big banger sets that people have wanted for a long time. ATTE, Republic Gunship, whether or not it was executed well or not is besides the point. They made a Republic Gunship. The Ghost, Yavin 4, all very expensive, $140 plus sets. And of course, next year, I think an MTT is in order, right? A nice brown MTT, as cool as a Clone Wars one would be. It is the anniversary for the Phantom Menace, so I'm sure they would go with the tried and true brown color. I just really hope they don't do the disservice to the MTT like they've done to the Gunship with kind of an ugly down. Maybe the Gunship isn't ugly. Maybe it's not the right word. I think the downsize on the Gunship is just disappointing more than anything. I mean, they've already downsized the MTT once. I would expect it to be bigger than what we saw in 2014, but who knows? But yeah, it's been 10 years. MTT, it's like definitely happening next summer, right? Like it has to. Old Head Star Wars fan says, kind of unrelated, but I'd really like your expert opinion. Nothing is unrelated in these videos. You can ask anything you want. But he says, I'm about to pull the plug on a new and sealed 2015 UCS Slave 1. It's one of his grails. How worried do I need to be about the dark red parts? I know you spoke about it in your review, but I was curious about how high the risk is in a sealed set since the parts have been hopefully bagged the whole time. Thanks and love the channel. Well, here's the unfortunate news for you. The set that I reviewed was also a sealed set. I literally opened a brand new sealed set to build for that video, for that review back in, early 2022, maybe late 2021, and it still cracked with the dark red piece. I mean, take a look at this clip.
I couldn't. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh! What happened? It's like when Gordon Hayward snapped his leg. It's so bad.
What did you do?
Oh, damn. It's so bad. Oh!
Oh! Yikes. Oh, it's time for the Craggle.
Ryan says, the UCS Venator set number is 75367 and Rex has the clone designation CT7567. Coincidence, or did they mean it? It certainly seems, when looking at the list of LEGO Star Wars sets for summer of 2023, this was probably an intentional numbering. Not something that LEGO always does, I guess, but here it just happened to line up and they were able to make the UCS Venator have the same number, or nearly the same number, as Captain Rex. I think it would be crazy for this to be coincidental. I think it's totally a thing that was done on purpose, which is cool. Brandon Wilson says, is LEGO leaking information to keep hype and interest going all year long on what's next? Question mark. No, they're definitely not leaking things themselves or like puppeteering leaks. I don't believe that. I've been doing this for too long. Leaks have been happening forever, at least since 2009 when I made my first leak video.
LEGO 2010 rumor list. This will probably be the first one on YouTube. Last set is the ARC 170 Starfighter. Probably gonna look like this.
So, I don't think in 2009 LEGO was like purposefully putting out leaks. I don't know if that was a known strategy at the time, you know what I mean? Like, I know Apple is commonly like known to like leak iPhone things, but You know, I don't think LEGO does that with their stuff, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. What I have heard is the case, though, and is kind of interesting, is that LEGO puts dates on things. So, like, let's say they're developing a new product like a UCS vendor, and they basically say to themselves or to the designers, or somewhere along the line, they go, if the name of this set leaks after May 1st of 2023, everything's okay. We can live with that. We won't worry about it. But if it happens before, then, you know, problem. I don't know what problem or what solution to problem there is because it's already leaked for them. But that is like a newer understanding of things that I have. Whether or not that's like 100% the truth, I really don't know. It's secondhand information, but just some interesting food for thought for you. Waxium Deficiency says, long story short, my brother-in-law and I were hanging out and he stepped on something. He reached down to pick it up and it was a Lincoln log, but proceeded to call it LEGO multiple times. How should I retaliate? Please help. Don't worry, I got you. I think it would be really, really funny if for Christmas you bought him Lincoln logs and then printed out like red LEGO logos on like printer paper, just cut them out, and then glue them on to the Lincoln logs. I don't know if he would figure it out, but at least you would be able to explain the joke to him later. That's what I think is the best retaliation for him. That, or you can just put a bunch of like 2x4 bricks on the floor next to his bed so he can step onto some real Legos and no true pain. If you have a question or topic you want me to cover next week, leave in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed.
Stay tuned for official 2010 sets. Bye.